Good morning, good evening, good night, good middle of the night. If you're listening, I don't know, you could be listening in the dark of night, who knows? Like a vampire. If you are a vampire, then, keep listening. We love you. Do you know what I mean? We love vampires. We are the Danger Club podcast. My name is Colin Hubbard. This is Danger Recall. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for some more Danger fucking Recall. That's right. I'm going to drop the F-bomb because I'm excited. Yeah, I've got two guests with me right now. We might get a third. We might get another motherfucking guest. We've got my main motherfucker, Dan Thompson. What's going on, Dan?
Oh, hello everyone. Hello, Colin. We made it. How many episodes was that? We made 60-odd episodes, 59 episodes we made without having to put an explicit tag on this podcast.
I know, it's crazy. What have I done? I've just messed everything up. Maybe I'll bleep them out if I can be bothered. And we've got another motherfucker. We got James Lockhart. How you doing?
Oh, good evening, Colin.
Yeah, I should have probably I should have probably just stuck with the Halloween stuff and not the motherfuckers.
Well, trouble is, because again, you think we got better at this, but I don't think this is dropping at Halloween, is it? So
no, it's not.
But it is Halloween. This is the Halloween weekend. It's Friday. We're getting in the spirit of it. But sorry, everyone. I hope you had a good Halloween.
and if people listen to this like next year, then it's not Halloween at all, is it? So unless it is Halloween.
Are we thinking that, so are we saying that vampires listen to their podcasts in the dead of night? Because I feel like they've got other shit to be doing in the middle of the night. Like, surely they would listen to it during the day when they're in the coffin. Like, that's perfect podcast listening time. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, it's not something they would listen to on the beach, per se, unless they've got a nice umbrella. But yeah.
Isn't it funny? That's a very good point, because, I'd hope vampires exist in society. And the advent of audiobooks was, generally well accepted for most of the population. The vampires were fucking yes. Yeah, oh my God. You mean I can lie in my coffin and do something? That's great. Yeah, I'll take it all.
Thank you.
Lord of the Rings, here I come.
I bet they've got one of those sleep masks like I've got with the headphones inside it, so they can just pop it on, get in the coffin, and then they're set for the day.
I'd probably not, because they're not wankers.
That's true. That is true. No, you make a good point.
Don't those headphones? Don't they record your dreams or something? Don't they like those headphones?
They do, and send them to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Have you heard? Oh my God! What's this pause? What do you need to do, James? What's going on?
Well, that last bit didn't sound so cool, but I'm going to take it back. Like, I did it for a gag. That sounds quite cool, Dan. What do you want to know more about these sleepy time headphones? Because I've got an eye mask. I don't need it in my current room because I have Georgian shutters. That's a different story. But I do like a good eye mask.
You do. Your room is famously dark. Having recorded in there for so many years when we did the podcast there.
Oh yes. I can make the day go away.
Sleep specialists say that you shouldn't use any aids. Like, you shouldn't use the eye masks. You shouldn't use earplugs, anything. You should just sleep. That's what
they're
sleep
dicks,
experts say.
Colin.
Yeah, they're fucking dicks. Like, fuck you.
And also,
experts,
that doesn't take into account, like, and the thing is, you sleep in all sorts of different places, like tents. Yeah. Have you tried to sleep in a tent without an eye mask? It's shit. Because, generally it's the summer months, so, you're up at 5 and you're like, no.
No, it's not going to happen. No. I need an eye mask. I need
exactly.
earplugs. Someone's chatting shit in the next tent and they're not going to stop for the next 7 hours. Yeah. There's always that person, isn't there, at the festival? Like, I think every 5 tents.
Dan.
Yeah, right.
It's often me.
Every sort of 5 or 6 tents, there's one tent that plots up right behind you and just goes, oh yeah, man, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, cool, yeah, and then just does that for the rest.
It tends to be behind you, doesn't it? The past tents. I had to get the first pen in. I'm sorry. I think we're going.
It's all right. Yeah, it's right. Yeah. I read up on puns the other day.
I got given a tent once. It was the present tense. I just made that up.
Hey.
No, I'm sure somebody's made that.
How do you have a character who is broadly tent-themed in the Danger Club, and yet you've not managed to get any of these puns into the show?
I know. Well, the thing is, because when I first rolled Velda, I canvassed for opinion, and they didn't come back. I took some polls.
Good polls.
And,
listen, right?
Look, I made 2 10.
It's great. No,
2 10 puns.
Whatever.
And both of you, look, okay, Dangerlings, you can't see this right now, but we're on Zoom, and both of them just looked down at their crotch. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe they're making little tents of their own at me talking about this, but
little trouser tents at your puns.
Look,
that's how much we love them.
If I could throw rope around a guy, I would. See what I did there? That was fucking that was like a rap lyric, wasn't it? Yeah.
I tell you what I was doing looking down at. Here's a little Patreon exclusive for you. I was looking down at my phone to some messages from Ross where we're confirming the artwork for the next batch of Danger Club Patreon exclusive T-shirts, which will be going out towards the end of this year / early next year. So there you go. That's a little thing that will be coming through to you if you're a £25 and up subscriber in the next few months.
So if you want a T-shirt, you know what's going on. Listen, we're talking about episode 59, which is Club in an Elevator. Thank you so much to Kevin MacLeod, Swordco Soundscapes, Ender Gurney, Tenko Axe, Per Klistoff, and Ross Bludgeon for the music. Beautiful music that we're using on this episode. There's loads of stuff going on, isn't there? And we start this episode crazily with the Rat Queen.
Do you know what? On a re-listen, my memories of this were that, Folton commits murder, and then enables mass murder. And then listening back, there's some nuances there that I'd sort of missed the first time round. The fact that at one point he's like, I'm skipping ahead a tiny bit, but he's like, no, because Velda points out it's murder. No, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
And then still suggests a plan where they all die. Like it's you're just determined to make these people die. You just check. I was like, okay, he's gonna roll this back now.
He sort of backtracks a few times, doesn't he?
Yeah, and no, actually, you should get more explosive barrels. There we go. Now the plan is sound. Like
explosive barrels, the Mario view of the world that Folton has.
I mean, there's a moment there where I think Dan says MZ's got to die. Yeah. In this episode.
A bit of foreshadowing.
We're not going to talk about what happens in a couple of episodes' time. But, I just want to note that down as we're still talking about MZ die. It's been brought up a few times now. And, M's been dead before. But, Dan, what is this?
It's mad, isn't it? Because it was
it's mad.
Purely because we'd had the joke with Jason at the convention beforehand.
Yeah.
And so we're just making gags about how MC's going to die, not knowing what is about to happen in a couple of episodes' time. It's just, I love how these games how this thing comes out. Because it would have to have been MZ. We couldn't have been making jokes about we could have been making jokes about any character, but it just happens to be that one. And it's just perfect.
Anyway, we're going to get, it's perfect, is it? Yeah, we're going to get to that. Look, Grandma Catliss is pretty badass. Isn't she? She's pretty badass. In the sense that, what Caragor says. Oh look, she's amassed all this power in 2 days. We should recruit this woman. She's amazing.
I mean, I think she was great, and a very clear mental image. I thought it was great. I thought, it'd be great for fan art. Get a bit of get her in there. But
with the rat cloak,
I think Folton took appearances a little bit too on the nose and was like, she's probably some sort of clever. No, she's an old lady in a rat.
She's an old lady in a bunch of dead rats.
So should I moderate this? No, I'm going to go full Folton.
I love the accusation as well. She's like, I accuse you of wanting to be the Rat King, Folton.
he just goes with it.
He's like, yeah, that's what I want. And then
the funny thing is, he says he doesn't say that he wants that, and he kind of lets that slide him by, and then he kills her, and immediately he's like, right, crown me the Rat King, I'm the Rat King now. And it's like, that was a turnaround, Folton. That was a big turnaround. He's like, well, I killed her.
Cold blood. Classic Ross.
Cold blood.
Classic Ross.
He's like
murder.
He's like this folk figure. He creates her by giving her the money, and as a result, she's obsessed that one day he'll come back to try and reclaim his crown. And in all likelihood, he was never going to do it. And then he finally turns up and he's like, yeah, cool. I tell you what, it's the first time I've used my government and politics A level in a Pathfinder game. Talking about bicameral legislators and the lawmaking process of the rat people.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a lovely reference to Game of Thrones. Remember when we used to still talk about that? Remember when that was still quite popular?
Yeah,
now we're just
is it? It's interesting, isn't it? Because Folton thinks that he's like Daenerys Targaryen because he's breaking chains. But ultimately he ends up being sort of the villain of the piece and ends up with a really downer ending where loads of people die. So he's he's nothing like Daenerys Targaryen.
Well, no, nothing like Daenerys Targaryen. And to be honest, he's more like the one who tortures. I can't remember his name now. The bastard.
Yeah. He's more.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Things like that. He's a bit more like that, really. He's just a bit sort of chaotically evil. And point to note. Velda asks or rather, James, that's me, asks what his alignment is at that point because
he does,
all of this is It's evil. Like, there is intent there. You will go and sacrifice yourself en masse so I can escape. And I do not care about the consequences, and I do not care about your lives, and I've just murdered this old woman in cold blood. Literally, the fight hadn't even started. She'd sort of done a bit of a challenge, but he'd murdered in cold blood. That ain't chaotic neutral.
Yeah, and then tells them to go and get...
That's chaotic evil.
Tells them to go and get the barrels and then storm the stacks. But he says, like, don't kill anyone. It's like an afterthought. It's like...
don't kill anyone.
Grab the barrels... Make sure that they blow everything up, but don't kill anyone. Don't do that.
Just go and get. It's not just going to be you lot, is it? Get as many people as you possibly can on this suicide mission. I want blood in the streets.
Just imagine, like, you know, I don't know, a terrorist organisation doing that. Just going, we're going to blow shit up, but we're not going to kill anyone. Like, that actually be quite nice, to be honest.
In a peaceful way, no deaths, suicide bombers.
We're going to make sure
this entire story arc is the equivalent of like tripping over a curb while carrying a basketball and then just watching it sail through the air and somehow it lands in the hoop. Like, when Ross and I start this, we have no idea where this story is going, and just every game we just do a bit more and a bit more and a bit more, and it ends up just landing. We're like, wow, we told a coherent, horrible story there. Like, that had a beginning, middle, and an end.
I love the bell sound that I used. Like, someone's ringing a bell.
Yeah, because you're like, stop ringing that bell.
But I use like a bicycle bell. I thought that was really funny when I was editing it. I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to use like a ding ding. I'm not going to do that. That's quite funny if it's just a bicycle thing. Ding, 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 ding.
It's one of those things. As a fan of, as a long-time Terry Pratchett fan, like all of the images of the beggars in this made me very happy. Like, just of them all just standing around with weird accessories. Like, there's a guy with a bell, guy's got a chain to keep his trousers up there. It's all on that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I like Filthy Jimmy as well. Filthy Jimmy, the hand of the king. Filthy Jimmy's a great little character. Yeah. Hello, Kaplan. How you doing?
Oh, hello, Kaplan.
Yeah,
hello.
My cat there, Dangerling's just entering in. Just had a brush up of the mic, so if you hear anything, that's not me, it's them. Right, so then we go back to Shania and M. We're in Christoph.
I love this.
Like, in this house.
So I love this because literally Big Mike's note has said run, and then you're both like,
what should we do?
I know. Let's barricade the door. I don't know. What should we do? Maybe should we look for more sort of little bits and bobs? Or should we? So it's like, guys. You've been given a pretty explicit.
I mean, to be fair, if banging on the door, that means that like people are there. So actually, it was quite a good. I just want to say that I played a very good game at this point by barricading one of the doors, because, you know, we only had to fight one person, but we did spend a lot of time faffing around. You know, we were just like, stab him, throw him, push him. No, we should have just got out of there. We should have just stabbed him and run. But we got caught up in the whole stuff of it.
Yeah, and to be fair, in terms of the narrative, we had just plunged God knows how many hundreds of feet into a lake and dragged ourselves out, and then sort of we'd shaken down a fisherman, and sort of weirdly wandered off in the city. Like, I think we just didn't really have a plan. Much at this point. It was sort of vaguely escaped. So I think your dithering is kind of warranted. It wasn't like we were following this well-oiled escape plan.
And I don't know what it was, but M's rolling like he's already rolled a natural one, as Shania has as well. But like every roll that he's making is just. It's just really bad. And from this point on, from as soon as he comes up from the air, he's just like, he's not rolling well at all.
No.
This guard who steps in the door, it does not have good stats. Like, a couple of good one round of good die rolls from the two of you knocks this guy down. But it just becomes this really, like, it's like the fucking Jethro the Thug, or like like becomes this prolonged fight.
Maybe it was Jethro's brother. Maybe we'll make that canon. That those two are like related or cousins or some shit. Like, So M slashes, he misses, Shania flame spheres, and then M gets hit again, and then Philip hits. M misses, the sphere hits the guard finally, and then we grab the kit and we run towards the BIS district, hoping that we find this junkyard, because that's where we're all kind of headed. And then Velda, we get this message to the gear rights. I love this. You've already messaged Travis, and then you're like, oh, should we just message the Gearites as well? They're in the same building. It's like, oh, should we message them and like see where the hell the junkyard is? And as soon as you message and say, oh, hi, it's Velda, they're like, oh, what do you want? Such a gift as a DM to like play that relationship, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah,
I love that little story. I love that journey. You guys missed out on a bunch of plot with the Gearites.
Of course we did. Of course we did. What were they doing? What were they up to?
Because you never went to see them. But they had Venlock the Scourge there. He'd come to Kermarga to find out what was going on, why it had taken so long. So he's there to take Travis and Ica off safely, so you don't have to worry about them. Also, the Gearites have made the Clockwork Spy for you in the time that you've been away, and have got it sitting there waiting to give to you when you pop round. But you just never go back, so you never get the Clockwork Spy. And even Caragor even says... No, Caragor even says in this, he's like, ask them if we could pop round and get it. And then he's like, actually, don't bother. And I was just sitting there being like, all right, there you go. No Clockwork Spy.
That's a sick little piece of kit as well, isn't it? It can fly into places. Like we could have sent it into the junkyard to see if there's anything bad in there. Like,
and it's just the kind of thing that you guys would get a lot of use out of, like especially given some of the subterfuge missions you go and do later on. It fits very well into the kind of plans that you guys often go with. So it would have been a great little thing to have.
Oh well, you live and learn, or do you? Yeah.
No, we don't. We don't at all.
No, we do not. But it's it's nice. I like that bit that you kind of do that, and then you have this bit with the mime.
I love this mime bit. I completely forgot about this.
I totally forgotten about this. This is again such a gift.
It's quite nice, this bit, because also you don't have many times before or since where it's Velda and Caragor.
It's an interesting mix, isn't it? Yeah.
Because not long after this, the Caragor Shania thing really starts up, and that's it then for the rest of it. So it's quite nice to have a different dynamic, because we actually do quite well.
Yeah, you didn't do too bad, to be honest. I mean? Yeah. It was a good little partnership. You kind of worked well together. Yeah. Anyway, so you get directions from this mime, and I love the fact at the end as well that he's in mid-run as he like freezes again.
Yeah, so funny. And I love this. He's like you can really think of his like thought patterns being like, how far can I push this? How many silver pieces can I get? Oh,
yeah.
Or, and it's just like, mate, you're pushing this now. You're pushing it, and then he obviously does, and then it's as if it's him running away. Actually, he does have some sort of curse or something.
Yeah. And then gets this lovely message from Velda saying the directions. I don't know how, Dan, you let that go, to be honest, because like the directions to the junkyard are quite complex, and it was just like
the directions to the junkyard thing is a real like in the original notes for it. I've just got like it's not really going to be a thing in the adventure. It's going to be super easy. You're going to find out. I think it's going to be basically the beggars will find Folton penniless and destitute after because Folton's got no money left now. He's given it all away. Like Folton's and they're going to take pity on him, and they'll tell him the directions because they know the downside. And like it'll be a bit of a role play thing with him and his former revolution, and then he can say goodbye. We'll put a bow on that, and then it turned into Game of Thrones Les Miserables at the end and just went insane. And so by the end of it, I'm just like, oh shit, no one knows. And you guys have all run off being like, yeah, we'll meet at the junkyard. And suddenly you're in 3 different places and none of you know the place where you're all going to meet up. So I've got to find a way to try and get this information into the game. Hence the mime, and hence the do a spell to tell them where it is so we can get everyone back together. But
good bit of thinking, really. It's good though. Go on.
Because there's so many. I hate moments where I have to say no, that doesn't make sense, because that's no fun. And it's you want to constantly be like yes, but there are points where you have to just be like, but you can't just keep saying we meet at the junkyard. None of you have described how you know where the junkyard is.
We don't know how that works.
So you kind of it was good to finally get that in, and it's like, okay, cool. Now we're back on track. Now we can make it happen. Except for Folton at the end, who just turns up at the junkyard because it's a 1 hour podcast and fuck it, life's too short.
I love this little chase as well. Like we're all chasing through the abyss, and like we're like running through the place, like Shania and M, and like we're trying to get in a lift, an elevator. Like we're just all that's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to get in this elevator, and we kind of like we spend, I don't know, quite a long time waiting outside the elevator doors as Tanglefoot arrows are going off behind us. There's a coffee guy getting stuck to the wall with 2 Starbucks cups, like what the bloody hell's going on?
It's sort of like
just ridiculous.
Caremarga's sort of Blue Water.
It's
just the shopping mall, isn't it? It's just it's great. It's a lovely image.
And then Velda's doing the gusty wind at them as well. And, you know, M's fumbling against someone, like falls into someone's like, oh, really sorry. And oh my God, it's just crazy. And then Carragher tries to do the Hawkeye thing off the, side. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to fall off and then fire an arrow. And obviously there is a penalty. Like thinking about it, there's definitely a penalty for that. But
there's definitely a penalty. And kind of like Pete Scott being like, really? It's like, you're literally jumping off something and trying to shoot a bow. I mean, like, that's going to be really hard.
I mean, to be fair to Scott, I would have tried it as well and wouldn't have thought.
It was great to try it. And some lovely little comedy moments where he's zipping past. He's like, all right. And just it's just lovely sort of comedy.
But I love this thing that M and Shania finally got in this lift with Velda and Philippe, and then we just see Carragher float past us going down. Like, all right, it's so stupid. Oh my God! And then we end this episode. Look, we're only 20 minutes in, and we've got 5 minutes that we can still talk about it. This is great. And then we hear this like lovely story, Dan, of these people. It's horrible, actually. They break into this what shop is it?
It's the guy who makes exploding barrels.
Right, of course.
And
the guy
and his daughter
kills the whole family.
Brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Like,
but the way that
because you took it and ran it, because you could have been like, okay, well they're gonna steal these things or something like that in a off a wagon or something. No. He said, these are very literal beggars. It's literally like, no, you've got to get explosive barrels, you've got to steal them. It's like, okay, we'll just butcher.
And the way it happens just off screen in your mind, you just see them come out with like daggers dripping
and they
with
look
blood.
sad.
So
like it's ruined their lives that they had to do it, but the king told them they had to.
It's
essentially dark, Ross said he wanted to order. Ross was in the restaurant. He said he wanted to order the live lobster, and I said yes, but I'm going to execute it at the table in front of you. That's what happened. He did order this.
I'm going to cut it in half, and you're going to see all the innards go.
And I happen to have the sort of the lobster's family watching from the tank. They're all crying their little lobster tears, and it's just like, man.
The lobster kids are going to watch this happen. Have you ever seen that? Like I worked in a fish restaurant once, and this chef, like there's a way you serve lobster where you just cut it in half when it's alive and put it under a grill. And I was like, oh my God, that's that is really horrible. And the chef was like, well, it's the freshest way you can, if you think about it, it's the freshest way you can eat lobster. And I'm like, I eat meat, I eat fish. I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan. But I did think to myself, that is pretty fucking harsh.
That's pretty crazy.
Man. Yeah. Because you can put them in water and just slowly boil it, and they go to sleep quite quickly. So they get dozy. Apparently. I might cut this because if there's any vegans listening, it's quite harsh.
Yeah, I've heard tell that that's not entirely true. There's still arguments about whether or not they just go to sleep.
Well, that's what Dan's saying in this. He's putting the lobsters to sleep. That's what his game.
Now, this narrative was definitely chopping the lobster in half. Like that. This is not the quietly going to sleep story. This is the butchery and in quarters as well.
Anything you got to say for yourself, Dan, about these lobsters before we end?
I think the most humane way to kill a lobster is to chloroform it. I think that's how you just do very quietly, just be like, shh, shh.
Even that's quite dark, isn't it, to a lobster?
Face right next to the tank so the others can see it. That would be how Ross has his lobsters.
Listen.
I really want lobster now. I'm really hungry.
Yeah. Well, listen, Dangerlings, that's been Danger Recall. That's what we're going to do today. It's, that is it. That was number 59, Club in an Elevator. Obviously a pun on the Love in an Elevator, the song by Aerosmith. We didn't even deep dive on that.
Great tune.
We don't need to. It's a great song. Thank you both for being here. That was great. Thank you, James.
Oh, no, very welcome.
And thank you, Dan. I've been calling. Bye, Dangerlings. Oh, goodbye.
Bye. Let's go down Whitstable, get some lobster.
Yeah, chopping it up.